Okay, Chase Cale Lesson, 4th of the 4th, 2015. We can see here the shaft of the club gets a little bit too shallow, over-rotated halfway back. The main reason for this is Chase's right-hand movement, which we're going to address here with the drills and the feels we're going to give him for this lesson. And we can see the club shaft then bounces and tries to score up. So the difference between what goes back and what comes down is very different. Shaft of the club here is pointing way too inside the ball. In a perfect world, we want to have the shaft dissecting the right bicep and halfway back, be more over here. So now coming through impact, there's a whole lot of other things that go on. But our main focus today is to work on Chase's swing, is to better that movement, and also what we end up doing when we get better with that movement is we expose certain movements to be out of whack, and we can't really see it from here even, but when we do the right hand movement we can see it. Right now Chase tends to get a lot of his turn through his lower body, and then his brain knows that the upper body hasn't got deep enough by itself, so it's got to try and hang back some coming into impact. So that's part of the laying off. So the first thing we're going to fix is the shaft angle and the shaft going back. So right now Chase feels like his right hand's going back, right hand and right arm's going back really straight, really staying on top on the way back. We can see the motion of the club going back is much more up that shaft plane, just ever so slightly shallower than what we're after. I'd like to see it just a little more here. As it keeps on moving back, we get a bit more laid off. So what we've done, we've pushed the laid offness into the latter part of the backswing. But we can see if Chase wasn't wearing trousers here, we'd be able to see a big gap here between his knees. We shouldn't be able to see that from this angle, so that tells me that there's too much turn coming from his lower body. When there's too much turn from the lower body, that means there's not going to be enough turn from the upper body. So we're trying to get the legs to stay firm and get more turn with the torso, so the right shoulder's going to be turning back deeper and more behind him. The good thing about this swing is that halfway down, the shaft angle has improved dramatically. The shaft of the club's higher up through Chase's arm now. Let's put that right back on the club. The shaft of the club's not as far inside the ball. It's almost spot on. In a perfect world would be just a little more out front, but it's really quite good. So coming down through impact now, we can see the shaft of the club's route towards the ball is really quite precise and deliberate. It's not routing under as much. The next component we worked on was the second component, which is the legs staying firm and the shoulders, the right shoulder especially, trying to turn back deep. Now Chase's legs here, we can see actually a gap back here, but the right shoulder's turned back deep, and correspondingly the shaft of the club ends up finding itself in a pretty good position here at the top. Nice square club face too. Coming back down, we're definitely more into out. So what we've done with these two feels is give them both feelings of what shape the shot are going to coincide with the movements. So this legs firm and right shoulder deep feel matches much more of a draw motion, and vice versa with the other motion. The right hand on top, right hand staying above and on top and going straight back, matches much more of a fade hold motion at impact. So we've got a low fade and a standard height draw with the other motion, with the right shoulder being back deep and the legs staying firm. So draw and fade motions and the different feels to coincide with those. Both of these movements should create more solid repeatable shots.